Before Top Gun made him a star, Tom Cruise played a small-town football player trying to escape the steel mill life. In All the Right Moves, he's not a hero. He's just a kid with talent, ambition, and everything to lose.
Any quitters here? No, sir! Didn't hear you. No, sir!
We're in the 6th episode of this Tom Cruise series where we look at his career from start to present. Today we are looking at the 1983 movie, All the Right Moves. I apologize, this video has been taking a lot longer to get out. I had some issues getting a hold of the video and being able to watch the movie, and then I had some life stuff going on, but really, I just want to apologize to you. I did want to get this out weekly, but it's been more and more weeks in between videos as I go on making this series, so I do apologize for that. If you've been waiting for this video, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for your patience. I just have had a lot going on with, my health issues. My cat was sick, still is, so that's been a challenge, and then finishing my summer classes. So I do appreciate your patience. I really, really appreciate all the subscribers I've been getting, and I really hope you stick with me through this journey. So what is All the Right Moves? Set in a struggling steel town in Pennsylvania, Stefan Georgevich is a football star and an aspiring engineer. He sees his athletic ability as his only ticket out of this dying town. He is determined to win a scholarship and escape the fate of working in the steel mill for life like his brother and his father. Steph's ambitions are challenged by personal and social conflicts. With his coach, Craig T. Nelson, who is desperately trying to maintain his own career, with his girlfriend, Lea Thompson, and the harsh reality of life in this blue-collar town. When Steph makes a mistake during a crucial game, it leads to a fallout between him and his coach, jeopardizing future projects. The tension escalates, but ultimately, this movie is about self-discovery, redemption, and defying the odds. So how did Tom Cruise get this part as Steph, the main character? Well, he's already been in a few movies as the lead, and this is his third one of 1983 that was released, so pretty busy year for Tom Cruise. The director was said to have sent him and Lea Thompson, who plays his girlfriend, back to high school to get that experience. Of course, Tom Cruise was recognized within the first day, having been in TAPS. Lea Thompson had a few extra days and was even caught smoking. So let's look a little bit more about the film itself. It was rated 6 out of 10 on IMDb, 61 on Rotten Tomatoes. It features Tom Cruise, Lea Thompson, Craig T. Nelson, and Chris Penn. It was directed by Michael Chapman, and it was released on October 21st, 1983. It was filmed primarily in Pennsylvania. This movie has themes of working class struggles, coming of age experiences, and personal growth. So if that is your vibe, please stick with me. Now, with that being said, let's get to the first clip. So when we first meet Steph, he's in his house getting ready for school. He meets up with his friends and girlfriend, and he and his girlfriend are talking about how their other friends are breaking up.
But I know why. I mean, most guys aren't as understanding as I am.
I know that, Steph.
The social pressures of being a teenager never changes. But at least Steph is understanding. For now. Let's look at the next one. So this scene is going to show you how important it is to Steph to go to college and get out of this town. He's been talking to his friends about it a little bit in other scenes, and then now he's talking to his girlfriend, which it just shows you how important this is to him, how much he's talking to his friends about it. I mean, it's only natural when you're in high school, right? I mean, I did the complete opposite. I was peeing on the side of the road and partying, but not Steph. He wants to get out of this dang town.
There's going to be recruiters there from every college that I want to go to.
So he's thinking about this next game they're having against their rivalry school. There's going to be recruiters there, and he wants to get out of this town, so he has to play his best. Okay, I'll admit, normally I add clips in to show Tom Cruise's range or just an important scene in the movie, but this one I added just for fun. I just love seeing that childish aspect of Tom Cruise. I think it's really nice to see, especially because he's in such serious roles now. I mean, we do see him in Tropic Thunder and Rock of Ages, things like that, characters like that, but it's nice to see this teenage aspect of Tom Cruise. So this is actually before the big game. Not much has happened in the movie other than some practices, but of course there was recruiters at the practice. They were also watching the coach as well, and a recruiter is interested in Steph, but he wants to go to the top engineering school. So let's look at his response when a recruiter approaches him in his home.
We offer a BS in engineering.
Yeah, well, Mr. Smith, I like your school.
You can already tell he's like, not really interested.
It's got a pretty good football team. But to tell you quite honestly, there's other schools that I'd rather look at first.
Now, you can imagine that kind of teenage response recruiters must get a lot. I would think they would be very excited to get a recruiter that early, but he has this kind of arrogant response. He wants to go to the top engineering school, so he's not very interested, which, I really wasn't expecting because he really wanted to get out of this town, but a little bit arrogant. So skipping ahead a little bit, they've had some practices. You see the dynamic between him and his coach. You see the dynamic between the coach and the rest of the team. And honestly, we see a lot of the coach's inspiration that he gives them. He's yelling at him like, hey, what the hell are you doing, kind of thing, which is normal. We also see a pep rally where Steph's best friend tells him that he knocked up his girlfriend. And Steph honestly took it worse than Brian. Brian is his best friend. So Steph honestly took it worse because he thought they would get out of town together. He thought that they would be escaping this fate together. But Brian knocked up his girlfriend and he's sticking with her. We see them playing at the big game against the rivalry school, and Steph scores. And honestly, it was really kind of cool to see Tom Cruise play this football player. I personally like football, so it's kind of interesting to see. And he makes this big play. They think they're going to win, or so they thought, until Steph makes a critical error. The critical error on Steph's part was really stupid, and the coach was pissed because in one of their practices he did the same exact thing, but of course he made that critical error and they ultimately lost. So that brings us to the locker room where Steph is talking to his coach.
You held him. It's just a fluke. It's just a fluke.
Really, he's just trying to talk himself out of like it was his fault, I think. I don't think he fully grasps what just happened. The coach told him in practice, you don't do it this way. That's the wrong way. You're going to get a penalty. And that's exactly what happened. That ultimately cost him the game.
Fluke. That pass interference penalty, that was no fluke.
He's pretty stern. I think he's a good coach. He's pretty tough and stern, but you kind of have to be, especially when you're dealing with teenage attitudes.
If you had just done it the way I taught you instead of your way, they never would have been down there in the first place, and they never would have scored, and we would have won that game.
A lot of emotion. You can tell he has a lot of emotion in his voice. Obviously, this isn't a Craig T. Nelson series, but I personally like him as an actor. Coach is pissed. He thinks that his opportunity to go to Cal Poly is over, and he's just upset about it. He blames Steph. So after this, the coach told him he's off the team. He storms out of the locker room. He yells at his girlfriend in front of her friends, so it's going downhill pretty fast. He's drinking and walking around, and some townspeople pick him up. They take him to the coach's house and start trashing his yard while the coach is with his wife and daughter in there sleeping. And it's just not a good look for Steph. Steph originally just kind of sat in the car and watched them do all these things and spray painting crappy words on the garage of the coach and everything. But Steph got angry. He was drinking, so he just threw some trash on the yard. And then he even said to the townspeople, what you guys are doing is crazy. It's too much. Like, they hung, I think, a dead animal or something, like, in front of their yard. So it was just really over the top, over the line. Of course, the coach only sees Steph doing this when he comes out, and everyone else runs away and gets away, but Steph is caught. I don't know that Steph really saw that the coach saw him. He's running away, but the coach saw that it was Steph. He recognized Steph, obviously. So this is the next day. Steph goes to the coach begging to be on the team again, and he apologizes for what he said in the locker room.
Sorry about what I said after the game. I didn't mean anything by it.
There was more to the locker scene than I had showed you, but obviously, I want to show you just a few clips. So he said some harsh things and, kind of just an asshole.
Friday, since it's our last game, it's at home, and I'm a senior. I'd really like to play, and it means a lot to me.
So he wants to play in the next game, which is the final game, and he's a senior. He wants the recruiters to see him, which I think is pretty ballsy. You just trash this guy's house and you're going to ask him for a favor? I don't know. Pretty ballsy stuff. So the coach denies him and says, "You not only put trash on my lawn, you put it on my whole family, my wife, and my daughter." So then Steph goes on this whole apology tour. He had apologized to the coach, who didn't really accept it. He apologized to his girlfriend, who did accept it. They got back together. He apologized to the coach's wife, and I think he didn't have an ulterior motive. I think he genuinely wanted to apologize to her. One might think he might have the ulterior motive to get back on the team, but really I just think he felt bad about it. Then he calls the recruiter of the college he really didn't care for, which I had showed that clip previously, and the recruiter's like, "We're not interested anymore." So you can see the desperation start to unfold there. I mean, he's running out of options. He's not on the team anymore. He really doesn't have an escape plan anymore. Steph and his girlfriend go to a party, and everyone's talking about how they're going to college and which college they're going to and how excited they are, and it's just really bringing him down. He's just not going anywhere, really. That's what he thinks. This is upsetting to him, obviously. I mean, he's just lost all hope. So after that, the coach sees him and they get into an argument.
Where am I going?
Yeah.
No place, man. I mean, Shadow, he's going to West Virginia. He just found out tonight.
So obviously, he's just kind of given up. He's like, "Where am I going? I'm going nowhere."
You're going to Cal Poly. Mouse. Mouse is going to college. He's going to play ball. I mean, I'm just going to hang out here. I don't.
So everyone's leaving except for him. You can see the desperation. You can hear it in his voice.
You just sit there in your office. Scholarship here, no scholarship there. He goes, he stays.
Obviously feeling sorry for himself, too.
Who in the hell gave you that power?
So basically, he's just saying, "You're just a high school coach who gave you all this power." And he just kind of laid into him, kind of spoke his mind. So Steph has taken a job at the steel mill, and he just kind of gave up. He thinks nothing's going to happen for him. And coach comes to him with an opportunity.
I'd also like you to come play football for me at Cal Poly on this full scholarship.
You can see he's just like, "You know what, I'm going to give this kid a chance." He thought he was a really good player anyways. He just had an attitude problem. But, he went on this kind of self-discovery, self-journey kind of thing. Even laying into him, I think he respected that he did that.
You want to run that by me again?
Yeah, I want you to play football for me, son.
So I like this ending. I mean, the second half was kind of this whole self-discovery. It was less about football and more about Steph and his struggles. But I really enjoyed this ending, and I love Tom Cruise as this character, honestly. Let's get to my final thoughts and ratings for this movie. I want to do a rating segment at the end of each video, so what I'm looking at is his performance, the movie itself, and Cruiseisms. If you've been with me before, you know what the Cruiseisms are. So his performance, I would rate 7 out of 10 cruise missiles. I think he really played that part really well. I mean, he just was a teenage boy at the time. He was 21 years old, I think, about. So, he had just been a teenage boy himself. I think he had the right emotion and personality for this role. So I really enjoyed seeing him as that character. For the film itself, I would rate 5 out of 10 cruise missiles. Honestly, I wasn't super impressed with the way it unfolded at the end. I think it was just kind of. So, honestly, just 5 out of 10 seems right to me. I think the beginning was pretty good. The second half just kind of fell off. I was a little bit bored, to be honest. There wasn't much going on, just kind of this apology tour, like I had mentioned. So, 5 out of 10 is what I'll give. Cruisisms. Did he run? Yes, he did run as the football player and towards his girlfriend in the middle of the night. Of course, typical teenage boy stuff. Did he do a stunt? No, he did not do a stunt. I would say playing football is not like hanging on the side of a plane. So, no, I would say he didn't do a stunt. If you think of any more cruisisms, comment below. I'm always looking for more. Let's get to my final thoughts. My final thoughts on this movie are it was all right. Yeah, it was all right. Pun intended. Honestly, it was just kind of downhill, like I said, in the second half. I think it was all right for what it was. I just wasn't a fan of how it unfolded, but I did enjoy the acting. I did enjoy Craig T. Nelson's performance. He was really great in it, and Lea Thompson. Tom Cruise, like I said, I think his performance was great in it as well. So, really, my final thoughts are I don't think I would watch this movie again, but it was good for what it was. What do you think of this movie? Have you ever seen it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Next, we are looking at the 1986 movie Legend, so stay tuned.